Welcome to another edition of Hey Bobby with Senior VP of the Cleveland Guardians, Bob DiBiasio, here on WAKR. And I often get a lot of talk with us in Akron, Bobby, about, the Rubber Ducks and affiliation with the Guardians. And of course, you have Columbus and you have all the affiliates right around here. But a lot of people might not understand the Guardians are the parent club, what the Guardians control and what they don't. Obviously, their draft picks, their players coming up through the organization, but I don't know if enough people understand how the connection and the organizations all work together. And I thought maybe you could go down that road for us today.
Certainly, we have a great relationship with all of our affiliates, and especially since the concept of having your affiliates as close by as possible um, is something that, from a baseball perspective, was very, very important. And so, a number of years ago, having Columbus just be our AAA affiliate, not too far away, and then Akron being the AA affiliate, high Class A, Lake County. And then we do have one in Lynchburg, Virginia. Now because of competitive balance issues that baseball is trying to create, every team is only allowed four minor league teams. There was a time the Yankees had 10 minor league teams, the Dodgers, etc. So they could corner the market in the minor league aspect, they corner the market in free agency, and there's some other things baseball has done to create a more competitive balance issue within our game. But that's one of the big ones. For example, only 165 players per organization now, with four farm teams. So I'd say 90% of the relationship with our minor league affiliates is baseball related. It's making sure that when you enter an agreement from the Major League Baseball side with the minor league affiliate, that there's an understanding that there's certain standards that need to be met, from lighting to the field, providing batting cages, you know, kitchens, and because nutrition is such a vitally important aspect of how we approach making sure our professional athletes are taken care of properly, not just from a baseball perspective, from the holistic perspective, and that includes nutrition. So the relationship really focuses on the baseball side. From a business side, we do connect. Jimmy Fander in Akron, the GM, he was an intern for us back in, I think it was 1999. So we know him very well, and he knows us, and we have a really wonderful collaborative relationship with the Babby family. And whenever they want to do bobbleheads of Cleveland Guardians players who pass through, we work with them for sign off and things of that nature, to help them be successful on the business side as well. So we're always a resource.
Bobby, what about the simple things that kind of as a fan, you just take it for granted that it's there at the ballpark, but what about bats and balls and players' positions and all that stuff? Does the Guardians organization, I should say, do they say, hey, we want Jones or we want Horner to play second base for the most part? How much of that is translated to them? And then, and again, go back to the balls and the bats. Does Cleveland purchase them, or is that the Rubber Ducks?
When it comes to um, players, equipment, uniforms, while the Rubber Ducks, I think, are involved in the uniforms, I'll have to double check that one as part of their expense. But the bats and balls and helmets and everything else are a product of Cleveland. Unless, it could be however it is written up in the agreements. But
Okay.
player wise, I know for sure that the minor league affiliates have absolutely no say whatsoever in who plays, who's on the roster. That's our minor league head of player development. Chris Antonetti, Mike Chernoff, even Stephen Vogt, the coaching staff, whenever we send a player down to Columbus or Akron, um, there's a specific goal in mind for that player. And that's translated from the front office in Cleveland to the manager of the respective ball club. And the manager is expected to facilitate the thought process from the big league club. So every move, every piece of personnel aspects, the coaching staff, the trainers, the um, strength coaches, the um, you name it, that's a Cleveland front office issue.
So you can see, folks, that there's a purpose there. From the single A all the way up to the big club, they're all moving in the same direction there. Senior VP with the Guards, Bob DiBiasio, with us on Hey Bobby. The other area I want to touch on today, Bobby, and I've really noticed this myself, and I was just wondering if you've seen any trends. I remember about 5 years ago, I would come up to a lot of the 110 games, and there would be 8, 10,000 people there, maybe 12. It wasn't well 10. I've noticed the last couple of years, those 110 games in the afternoon and those Saturday afternoon at 410 games, they're packed. And I was just wondering if you've seen any trend at all of daytime baseball with everything going on at night now and some of the things going on. Have you seen the daytime numbers as an organization go up? And if so, do you think we could see, and I'm not saying all the games, but do you think we could see more daytime baseball coming back in the years to come?
That's a good question, and I'll get to it in 1 second. One thing I forgot about our conversation with the minor leagues, from uh, a Cleveland perspective, we've actually added front office personnel who only focus on our minor leagues from a PR perspective. Um, at,
Oh,
at Guards Insider, at Guards Insider, we have a person who is in charge of just sending out social media um, regarding our minor league affiliates and what's happening with the players and such. And so that from a business perspective, we wanted to up our game in our relationship with the minor league club. So that's at Guards Insider. As far as day baseball, I don't foresee us doing more than what we currently do.
okay.
Um, there's a lot of reasons for that. Early in the year, you have day games just because of weather. Um, we see more senior citizens are coming to day games, which is great. Early in the year, because the weather's probably better, it actually is the most attended of a three-game series, a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday day game. The Wednesday day game might have the largest crowd. It's a chance for us also early in the year to do education weather days with bring school kids to the ballpark and things of that nature. But I don't foresee um, us really increasing the number of day games. You still need to get into prime time for television and radio. And people working and getting off work. And when summertime hits, it's like tonight's supposed to be mid 70s and a beautiful day for a game. And so the thing that's funny, um, you talk about day games, let's talk history for a second. Um, it was the only time teams played. There were no lights, right? So,
Right.
day games were it. And um, 1935, I think, was the first night game ever in Cincinnati, Crosley Field. Then a couple years later, Johnny Vandermeer throws back-to-back no hitters for the Reds. You know, a record that obviously will never ever be broken, but there's a lot of people who think that the number of no hitters, Bob Feller, um, Johnny Vandermeer's back to back because the lights, um, the first set of lights that went up to illuminate a baseball field weren't all that great. So players had a hard time picking up the baseball. And so the advent of a lot of swings and misses. I remember one piece of trivia that the first night game, 19, again, 35, uh,
Mm-hmm.
lasted 95 minutes at,
Couldn't see the ball.
at Crosley Field, which is interesting. But people do absolutely love day games, and I just don't know if we're in a position in our business with all that is involved from a business perspective that, you know, we're headed to more. But we like to dot 7, 8 or so across our uh, calendar each year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
you know, and
especially when teams are traveling to the West Coast like this one, you like
mm-hmm.
to have a day game and have the guys have the ability to travel to the West Coast, get to the West Coast, have a nice day off. When you travel east to west, you always have an off day
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
your road trip starts.
And of course, we've got the day game this afternoon against the Reds
Yes,
coming up at 1:10. But I got to tell you, you know, in the summertime months, and I know you sprinkle them in, they're so well attended
they
uh,
are.
during the week. And I know, of course, I get up at 2:30 in the morning. I really like the daytime.
Oh, I know you're there with your kids and with friends for most every one of them. And
Yeah, I love coming
yeah,
up with.
there's no question. There's a lot of people who absolutely love those day games. And when you sprinkle them in, there's something very special for sure.
Great. There you go. Senior VP with the Cleveland Guardians. My good friend Bob DiBiasio joins us each week with, we call it Hey Bobby. It's available for you on our Facebook page or YouTube channel, and of course, WAKR.net and right here on the morning show. Bobby, as always, my friend, thank you for taking time for us in Akron. Always appreciate the time.
Always fun, Ray. Go Guardians.